Big Boy's Neighborhood. Chris Brown is up in here. Chris, man.
Yeah.
Chris, when I was watching Rihanna, there was a clip from the show where she said she was ashamed that she fell in love with a person like you.
Mm-hmm.
When you saw that, what was your mind state then?
I thought it was for TV.
Really, though?
I personally did.
Had you ever felt that coming from her?
Never.
Never. Had she ever said that to you in a phone conversation, a sit-down conversation, that she was ashamed?
Nah.
No?
It was never nothing like that. So our situation wasn't even like the whole interview. Like I said, I respect what she did, but
right.
I just choose to keep what I was saying private and just keep what was going on.
Do you feel like it was strategic enough? Like was it her album, or it was just her time to talk?
I don't know. Right. I mean, I ain't got nothing to do with whatever she trying to do. I'm doing me, so
right.
That's all.
What about now with tours and albums coming? You guys will have to cross paths at some point. Do y'all just keep it where you guys wave, or?
I'm gonna keep it pushing.
I heard that.
I can't violate no parole, no probation. So
right. You can't even shake a hand.
Nah, I keep it pushing.
All right. Well, we got Chris Brown in the neighborhood, Big Boy's neighborhood. Big Boy's neighborhood.
Big boy.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood. We got Chris Brown up in here, man. Chris, being in the business that young, you and Rihanna, do you guys feel like sometimes y'all have too much power?
I think we have too many expectations.
Right.
I think people hold us to a pedestal and not realizing we teenagers.
Yeah.
Like I started when I was 15. I came in here when I was 15, and I had #1 record in the world.
Mm-hmm.
so it was just like a lot of people just think it's like, oh well, they're good, they're adults.
Right.
We're kids. We think we know everything just because we getting paper or whatever. We run our own business, but at the end of the day, we're still kids. We still have a lot to learn.
Hey, Chris, if you could say something to either your harshest critic or someone that doesn't understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to convince anyone or turn anyone's, thoughts around, but to the harshest critic, the person that yells at you on the street, or the person that says he's a woman beater, whatever it may be, what do you say to them?
Well, what I always wanted to say, like, honestly, if they yell it out in the street, like,
yeah, and you get that.
Yeah, I get that sometimes. I've been on TMZ, like, but the honest opinion with me, like, it'll be 2,000 people that don't want to take a picture, and then that one person that want to say something.
Right.
So what I want to say to them is like, you feel better about yourself now?
Right.
Can you sleep better at night? Now that you said it, now that you got that off your chest.
But you can understand why people have those opinions.
Yeah, but my thing is, everybody has demons or like skeleton bones in the car, whatever,
right.
How you use the terminology. But no one person is perfect. So whether in anybody's situation, if somebody did something wrong or whatever the case, I wouldn't say throw people under the bus, but that's something that they have to work on within themselves. That's not going to be like, well, I don't like that person.
Does this make you now make you less judgmental now towards others?
Well, I've never been judgmental. Like, I mean, as far as big situations, like if it's homies and my homie do something, I'm like, man, you messed up. What's wrong with you? Like, that's different. But like, as far as on another scale with other people's problems, I don't put myself in other people's positions.
I heard that. Chris Brown in the neighborhood, beautiful day in the neighborhood, Big Boy's neighborhood. It is going down. Chris Brown is in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Brown, I can't have you here and not speak.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? I can't have you here. And there's been the Larry King interviews. There's been Sway interview. Rihanna, she gets a chance to speak. And when Rihanna spoke, I don't know where you were at or if you had a chance to view that, but were you surprised or by how much information or what her interview was like? Not compared to yours, but just watching her interview.
I was a little surprised. I'm not even going to lie about that. I was surprised because I just chose to keep the situation private and not discuss it or just give out any information. But I respect her decision. If that's her decision, I just got to keep it pushing.
Hey, Chris, how hard is it being, at one point it's Chris Brown, everything is smiley and it's happy. How hard is it being Chris Brown now, and as far as what you got, a so-called repair? And
It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's difficult, like, as far as, like, it's hard on me. Like, I've had my down days, but, like, I just try to make everything, I know that I'm just not here just for a quick burn. I know I'm here to inspire people and really hopefully I wouldn't say change the world, but try to change the world.
Do you see a light at the end of the tunnel? Do you feel like Chris Brown could make it out of this?
Of course,
right.
Because there's been countless other people, other artists in either my situation or situation that's either worse or less,
right.
And they've overcome it. So I feel like I can really, as long as I'm learning from it and learning from my mistakes, and I'm actually glad that it happened at an early, like while I was 19 and 20. So like, there's no room for error later on.
Hey, Chris, are you really learning from it, or do you say you're learning from it?
No, I'm really learning from it. It's not a situation where I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna push it under the rug. I'm just not gonna.
Right.
I'm just gonna say I'm learning from it and just keep it moving. Nah, it's a situation that's serious and it affects a lot of people. So
is this would you say that with you and Rihanna, this is, and what's going on with you right now, that this is one of the toughest situations you had to go through?
Of course,
really,
of course. I mean, it's like waking up one morning or having one night and you be like, okay, I'm on top of the world, and the next day it's like I'm at the bottom.
Right. And did you feel like that?
Of course.
Right. Yeah. When did you know, Chris, that it was bad, or when did you know that it like that situation, something went too far?
It's just the incident in itself is just it should have never happened. Like, that's just something that shouldn't have happened.
All righty, Chris Brown in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Big boys neighborhood. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Chris Brown in the neighborhood. And Chris, man, I'm going to tell you, even just sitting down with you, there's some people that'll probably say, oh, man, well, you shouldn't have did the interview. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has an opinion. There's always, you know, the public opinion, the opinion of what is the public court or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and it happens, man, but there were some questions that I've seen on interviews that I felt like, oh man, well they didn't ask Chris this, or they didn't know how to go about certain things. Not that I'm a master interviewer, but I just like to sit down and I like to just talk with people.
Yeah.
And just with that night, you guys set up, y'all have a good night. You and Rihanna, you loved each other.
Yeah.
Was that really the first time, Chris, that you guys were physical with each other?
Yeah.
That was the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all go from 0 to 60 in one night. First time.
Yeah.
Is Chris Brown the aggressor, or were you guys in an aggressive relationship?
Well, Big, I mean, I don't want to cut you off,
right.
But I just feel like with this situation, I've been in so many interviews. I've done this so many times. I've said I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing everything I need to do to get to the next level as far as being a positive person, as far as doing what I need to do to work what I've done out. And I just feel like keep going back to that. I'm not trying to gain any public publicity from this, and I'm not trying to. I really want to keep my situation private, and I really don't want to kind of stress the issue of, because I know I got an album coming out, I know I got all this stuff, and I don't want it to be like, well, he's just trying to do this to get his album out.
Right.
And I'd rather take another route and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna leave whatever happened that night right there, and I'm gonna learn from my mistakes. And we go from there.
Really dope.
With all the interviews I've done, and I've said in 3 or 4 interviews back past, like, okay, this is the last time I'm talking about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it's at a point where it's done now. It's like, and I feel like I'm learning from my situation, and I'm doing my community service. I'm doing everything that I have to do.
So as far as if it's a book in those chapters, that chapter, you want to move past that chapter.
Yeah, because I know exactly what went on and whatever. So I'm willing to get past that book. Like
let me ask you this, Chris. You know exactly what happened that night.
Yeah.
Do we know exactly what happened?
No, nobody does, and nobody will. I mean, because you always have 2 sides to every story, and you always have the third part. There's 3 sides to every story.
Right.
There's my side, her side, and then there's the truth.
Right.
So like you really never, you know what I'm saying?
And I think that's what people are looking to you to find. I think even though because
but I think with that, if I go into anything, if I say it's just gonna be more drama. It's gonna be more dragged out. It's gonna be just unnecessary stuff. When I'm just I'm past the situation. I'm a better man in my life. Like, I'm learning my situation. I'm learning from what I've done.
Right.
So I'm gonna keep it pushing like that.
So you can only be accountable for
my actions.
For your actions.
Exactly.
And if there's anything else, any assumptions or anything like that, then that person has to be accountable for theirs. But you can only repair.
Yeah, I can only repair Chris Brown.
I heard that.
Christopher Brown.
Go ahead now. Now he's Christopher.
Christopher.
Best believe that. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. It is Big Boys Neighborhood.
Boys.